Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. They're the pros from the dealer's floor, with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Table Talk, come join. Come join the ride. Podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buys.
We're so wide awake, we are so glad you're here. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. They're the pros from the dealer's floor, with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Ooh, Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice.
So good. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. They're the pros from the dealer's floor, with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make our shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make our shopping extra nice. Think of Porsche on every day. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make our shopping extra nice. We are so glad you're here. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. The pros from the dealer's floor, with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Story flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table.
It is time.
We're on time.
We're on time. Our
Close.
time.
That's right. Close enough.
Used cars, market updates, advanced clean cars, law 2, and so much more. What should you do when you're trying to sell your vehicle? All of that coming up today on Mohawk Table Talk. I'm one of your hosts, Nathaniel Greklick, and with me I have my other host, the one and only Mike O'Toole.
Great. Welcome to Mohawk Table Talk. Thanks for tuning in. We have a whole bunch to cover, so
So much to cover.
A lot to cover. There's a lot of stuff. Some super centric to selling or trading your vehicle. Some about laws coming up, and also as we're throwing some equipment around here, most of us watched the big game, right? Just a couple days ago. Last week we said we'd kind of read out what happened in the big game, and if you live in the Philly area, you're certainly happy. Congratulations.
You guys still have your street signs? How many of them are gone is the real question.
Yeah, quite a bit. There was a lot of energy around that.
A lot of energy going on in Philadelphia. Woo! But yeah, I mean,
well,
I personally, the commercials didn't blow me away this year,
but that's what the talk was, right? We had the commercials, we had a halftime show, and yeah, there was a football game in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, there
too.
was a football game that I don't think we actually paid that much attention to coming in the second half. But anyway, we're here. We have some tips and tricks. If this is your first time on Mohawk Table Talk, welcome. We do this every Tuesday around 12:30 to give you the latest updates in the car market so that you can become an informed buyer, because we know here at Mohawk Auto Group, an informed buyer is one of the best buyers to have. You know what you want, you understand what's going on, and you're ready to make a decision. So that's what we're here to do. And there's definitely a lot going on, especially in terms of the law. Bad boys, what you want.
That's right. Law definitely is fact, right? And we also sprinkle our opinions in there. So take that for what it's worth. We welcome your comments.
A grain of salt.
Take that for what it's worth. You're welcome to make a comment, especially, or if you're watching live, feel free to chime in, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. But certainly we want to give you the latest and the greatest. And we definitely want to talk about your vehicle, right? So whatever vehicle you're driving, whether it's a Honda, a Chevrolet, or whatever it is, we're happy to give you our advice from our seat on what do you do with it, right? Do you sell it? Do you trade it? What if you don't need it? And if so, where do you sell it?
Right. But before we get to all of that, let's talk local news and what's going to be affecting you coming up in the latest markets, along with we just found out that there's going to be a Honda Chevy basketball tournament.
That's right.
Charity for the Boys and Girls Club literally just came in through the mailbox about 5 minutes ago. So be on the lookout for that. Maybe you can come and spectate.
That's right. I couldn't believe the response, right? That's only about an hour ago.
Yep.
I think we have just about everybody in the dealerships ready to play. The bunch of us here in the studio.
We better bring the ambulance. Everybody thinks they can ball.
That's right. So that's pretty neat. Also, we had our company meeting this morning.
Yes.
And at Honda, and we do that once a month to make sure that the entire team knows how we finished the prior month, but more importantly, what's ahead in terms of the outlook for the business and for the company. So I'll hit you with a few stats if that's cool.
Hit us with some of the market updates.
This may help anybody who's contemplating: is it a good time to buy a car? Should I buy a new car? Should I buy a used? Well, that certainly is up to you. However, last month, there was a decrease nationally with new vehicle sales being off about 25% compared to December. However, the analysts really attribute that to December being so robust that there really wasn't any place to go but a little bit of a decrease. The good news is that inventory also is pretty level. There are a lot of new cars out there, certainly at Mohawk Chevy and Mohawk Honda, but also nationwide. So the selection is there. So if you decide on a new car, it's not a bad time to consider one. There's a lot of cars to choose from. Also, I shared with the group that based on DealerTrack statistics, which is a finance hub that we use here internally at the dealership, both new and used car APRs, right? Both rates have actually decreased month over month. So we're seeing that slide, and any decrease in a rate is a good news for a buyer, right? You spend less money, pay the bank less money. That means your payment's lower.
That's very nice. Everybody enjoys a lower payment. So if you are watching this, we want to know what your thoughts are. Will they go lower? Will they go higher? Are they different? Are you listening from a different state?
That's true.
Did your APRs go up or down? Let us know.
Yeah, and those stats that we have are just based on our locality in New York. So it certainly could be a little bit different elsewhere. But nationally, there was a Fed meeting, of course, in January. There was no adjustment to the rate.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Everyone's praying for lower.
That's right.
Of course.
But so that's a good thing from my seat, at least, is that there was no federal Fed adjustment to the rate, but the overall rates that people were paying last month decreased.
That's
so
always nice.
That's really a good thing, right?
Definitely.
Obviously, it's better than going the other way. The other stat that I shared, of course, that definitely impacts retail businesses, the car business, and probably the business that you're in. National unemployment rate decreased. And a decrease in unemployment is a good thing, of course. So it went
Of
from
course.
4.1% last month to 4%, which that 0.1% of the millions and millions of people that are employed is really a good
Like,
thing.
yeah, it's only 0.1%, but that's
a big
lot
number.
of people.
Right. So that means people were gaining employment. Can't beat that.
You can't beat that. And I wonder what, where all of these, where the jobs are coming from, where they're going, where they moving around. Is it more private? Is it more public sector? What are we seeing with that? That'd be a good information to kind of check out. But
Absolutely. And if you're local to Scotia, Schenectady, or the Capital District, I see a lot of construction, don't you?
Yeah.
Like a lot of
there's definitely a
industrial.
lot of construction going on.
So besides the fact that the construction generates obviously revenue and jobs, what they're building, somebody's got to work there.
Someone's
So
gotta
that's-
work there.
Yeah, that's good news. So
Unless all the AI robots work there, which I doubt
no.
at this point in time.
Right. I guess it depends on the business. But
Yeah.
so far I've seen some great growth in those. That's certainly not a bad thing. So that's all good news on the local front.
Yeah.
However, we also have some commentary on
yes.
on the
So actually, one of our own, Andy Gelcher, wrote a piece an editorial into the Times Union recently. I believe it was yesterday or the day before that. But most people don't know, and I think it's obviously you're not in this space, so you're not really looking at all these things. But New York passed a law called the Advanced Clean Cars Law, and essentially they adopted this in 2022 by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, and the goal is to achieve 100% zero-emission vehicle sales by 2035. Now, it's an admirable goal, right? We all want to get to that point. However, the market's not there. People aren't really diving into, even though the EV sales are increasing, right?
right.
It's not where it should be in order for this law to take place.
What's the percentage that the law's goal?
So for 2024, the requirement for all new sales vehicles sales must be zero emissions, which includes EVs and hydrogen, which I don't know any manufacturer that has a hydrogen powered car at this moment in time. I know Honda had the hydrogen fuel cell,
Right.
which I think would fall into that category, but they did away with that a couple of years ago. But 35% is that goal. So just based off the national average, I'm not sure what the New York average is, but national average was what, 10%?
Yes.
And they want another 15%.
So again, that's the Advanced Clean Cars 2 as in revised.
Right.
Advanced Clean Cars Act, and I'm reading the Times Union Post. It actually was yesterday.
It was
So it was
yesterday, okay.
February 10th, 2025. So if you're a subscriber digitally or paper, check that out. Andy Gelcher, of course, is dealer principal at Mohawk Chevrolet.
Yep.
So shout out to him for really putting his commentary in there. It's super important to us that we're prepared for what we need to do. However, there's certainly a lot of opinions surrounding this,
Definitely
right?
a lot of opinions.
Like I'll just kind of give you mine really quickly, and this is just Mike's view. Obviously, clean cars are a good thing.
Right.
So the Clean Car Act, in terms of moving toward clean, less environmental pollution and so forth, that's a good thing. The thing that I struggle with a little bit, and maybe this is just me, is like you just said, how are we going to get to 35% if the national level last year was only 10%
And
in
that was
terms
only,
of new cars
what,
sold?
2%? It was
That was
8% the year before that.
Right. Well, it's projected to be 10. It was 8 and change last year.
Okay.
So
we're at 8. I don't
How
know
do we
what
get to
I don't know what the
35?
New York percentage is.
I don't either, but I don't believe it's above the national average.
I mean, if it was, I would grant it's only 9. Like, I don't think
Right.
it's going to be any much higher than that. So if they are requiring 35% of all new sales so this is specifically New York. It's not federal.
That's
This
right.
is New York specifically. Will affect our car buyers that come in, our customers that want to come in and not necessarily transition over into a EV vehicle.
Right. And to further define that, when you say requires, that means a requirement for selling new vehicles.
Right.
Right. So obviously the cars that you own already, the cars that we own already, that's going to be, of course, continuous. But as far as new vehicle sales, it sounds like what New York wants to do is shift dealers to selling that percentage of vehicles.
Right.
So if we need to sell 35% of these vehicles that qualify, that means 65% will not necessarily qualify. But if you go to a typical lot, dealer lot, that is new vehicles, you're going to see a shift in what's available, right? I mean, that makes sense to me, I guess.
I mean, that's, but this is specifically going to affect manufacturers because they have to take this into consideration when they're giving the allotment to us.
Right.
Right. But it's going to also diminish what's available for our customers, right? Not Honda doesn't have a van. It doesn't have an SUV that can fit third row, right? And that is going to affect when a customer comes in. It says, I have here, like, this 35% means 1 in 3 new vehicles sold at New York dealerships must be an EV. So for every 3, we have to sell at least 1 EV, which is not the case at this time and moment.
Right. It's not too close. It's only 1-ish, 1 to 2 out of 10 right now.
And so, especially for Andy mentions this in the article, is that smaller dealerships such as Lake Placid or even get out further, right? In the Adirondacks,
rural.
The structure is not there for someone to buy an EV.
Right.
Like, they may have power at their house, right?
Right.
But in order to keep it's just not feasible at this moment in time to where we want to be. Maybe if they made it condensed into the city, I don't know how you would be able to do that, but it just doesn't make sense at the moment.
Yeah, it seems like, and I guess that's kind of reactionary. I know I am, and certainly kudos to Andy for kind of stating a position, at least from a dealer's point of view. The dealer's point of view, at least in my words, are less about what we want and more about what you want, right? What the consumer wants. So what we don't want to do is take somebody who's determined to buy a certain vehicle and kind of tell them that they can't buy that vehicle, right?
Like, that's essentially what would happen. You come in, you say, "Hey, I want this car. I know exactly what I want. I don't want for us specifically, you come in, you want to buy a CRV. Well, the only EV we have is the Prologue. Right. So we have to sell 1 Prologue for every 3 vehicles, which doesn't make sense here at Honda, right? We don't have that option. And so what could this do for you as the consumer? There is a potential for good, right? Maybe Honda will come out with some more EV options, but you will have fewer gas-powered options at local dealerships. There is the potential for price hikes, because if you want that gas-powered vehicle, we're going to have more limited supply. So that would drive up the price for what you want. Now, there would be more government incentives possibly. Hopefully, I would hope that there would be something along the lines of that.
Or state incentives, right? I mean, this is a state. Yeah, this is a state. That's a good point.
What I meant by government is obviously the state.
Of course, the
state government. Hopefully that they would increase incentives for individuals to try this out specifically, right? If this is exactly what they want, they need to help out. And so on that point, the final thing is the used car market may surge, right? Now you have less people buying these new cars, more people buying used cars because I want this car, but I can't buy it because they need to sell an EV first.
Right.
And for those that sell heavy duty trucks, such as an International or even our business,
any commercial,
our commercial business, we do have Silverado EV work trucks, but if you need a 4,500, 5,500, the price for an EV truck is astronomical.
Yeah.
And doesn't make sense always in your budget, especially if you're a new business owner. You're just not going to be able to afford that at that moment in time. So
yeah, it's certainly kind of a big topic. We just wanted to kind of scratch the surface there, especially citing Andy's input to the Times-Union. So kudos there. And if you haven't read the article, we encourage you to certainly for everybody to kind of have an opinion of their own.
Right.
But as the dealer group at Mohawk Auto Group, we certainly want to make it clear that we certainly understand some reservations about being told like this is the selection that you have
Yeah.
and you can't buy what you want, which we're not going quite that far, but you know, we're certainly on the side of the
Well, we
consumer.
don't want it to get that way, right?
Of
we
course.
want you to be able to, and we have been and always will be a customer focused dealership that will do the best we can with the tools we have, and we want to make sure that you have the best experience, and that experience includes you being able to choose a vehicle that we can make affordable, right? That's the best vehicle for you that's made affordable.
Yeah, yeah, it has to fit your lifestyle, and you got to keep doing the things you do, and we want you to do that. We're here for the customers. Without folks that sell, purchase and service their vehicles, then Mohawk Auto Group wouldn't be what it is today, for sure.
Yeah, because when you're going to have to go sell your vehicle, that will be one of the many factors that we will talk about today.
Speaking of
selling
your vehicle. So one of the things we wanted to touch on, just to switch gears here a little bit. So again, just to put a bow on that, please check out the Times Union article. Andy Gelcher really made a great contribution about the advanced clean cars, and as that relates to your current vehicle,
Right.
And what you want to do with it, right? That's kind of an age-old question. People ask us all the time, right? Should I have this vehicle and I'd like to get another one, but what should I do with it?
Mm-hmm.
Should I sell it outright? Should I do like 2 transactions? Like, should I sell my car and then buy the car I want? Should I do it at the same time at a
Right.
dealership? And if I am going to sell my car, where do I do it?
Right. But before we get to that, if you have any comments on our previous segment we just talked about, would you adopt a EV vehicle if that was the only thing available? Would you be willing to do that? What is your current mind status? Are you looking more for a hybrid option? We want to know. Throw that in the comments if you're on wherever you are, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you're watching this, TikTok, on my TikTok. I want to know, are you thinking about an EV still? Or in your opinion, gas vehicles are just so more efficient that you're like, no, I don't want to take 50 minutes to charge my vehicle on very long drives, right? So we want to know that.
Absolutely. It's very interesting to me that some people are kind of go with the flow kind of people.
Yep.
And some people, which I certainly understand, hey, I want choices. And my choice is my choice. It's
This
my
is
money.
America. Give me choices.
That's right. I get
Freedom.
it, right? Exactly. Don't tell me which column I can order from at the restaurant.
Yeah.
I want to choose what I want. So hey,
Yeah.
I certainly understand that. It makes a lot of sense, and that's kind of that's mainly our point. So
Yep.
yeah, when we're ready to chat about what we do with that vehicle that you already own.
Yep. Now
Which-
you're trying to sell your vehicle. Do you sell it on Facebook? Or Craigslist? Do you trade it in versus a direct sale, or do you do like the online car buying services like Carvana? We do have Kelly Blue Book is the cash offer here.
That's right.
But what are the pros and cons, and what are we looking at? I mean, you have the extraordinaire, the piece de resistance right here. You have any questions about used cars, this is your guy right here, Mike O'Toole, the used car market Mike, right there.
Well, I love the new title. And just to kind of explain that just a little bit, at Mohawk Auto Group, we have a specific team that just buys vehicles, right? From folks who own them, private owners. And they're the acquisition team. We have a team at each store. So should you want to sell your vehicle, we can certainly help with that. And what we equate that to is just like you could online, where you could sell your vehicle maybe to like a CarMax or a Carvana or anything like that. We have the same ability to do that. So you don't have to necessarily buy a vehicle from us in order to sell your vehicle and get money for it. So we have the ability to do that. I'll touch on some logistics really quickly. Assuming most folks who sell to us are in New York, I'll just talk about New York. The other states we can assist with also, but just in New York, you'll have your vehicle. We make you an offer. And this is a formalized written offer, of course, that's valid for a period of time at either store. You can decide whether you'd like to do it or not. If you decide to hold off, we can always make an offer in the future. If you just say, oh, you know what, I want to hold on to my car for another couple months, we can always revisit it in the future. If you decide to take us up on the offer, it's a pretty simple process. You just bring the vehicle to us, right? And all the keys and all that stuff. And you also bring the title, right? The title is that blue and white New York title.
What are the top, so would you say there's 3 or 5 things? Would it be 3? What are the top 5 things you need to sell your car today if you wanted to? What should you have ready in the gauntlet?
Yep. So what you should have ready, obviously you bring the vehicle, right? That's the first thing. Secondly, you bring yourself, or it has to be the titled owner has to be here, right? So I can't sell a car for you. It has to be, if it's your car, you need to be here. And third, of course, is the title. And the title has to be the original title, which in New York, assuming it's a New York title, is blue and white. And it's a document that most people keep safeguarded at their house.
Slip.
No, that stays of old. We used to race for pink slips,
yeah,
right? That's
that's
more
blue slips.
That's right. Blue title in New York. And the only caveat to the title, it has to be a clear title, which means, let's say you bought the vehicle a while ago, you might have taken a loan out to pay for the car. And after you paid off the loan and you don't owe any more money, that bank that you had the loan with would have sent you an additional document called a lien release. And the title, along with the lien release together, makes it a clear title.
Okay, so run through those again.
Yep. So you bring yourself
Yep.
and your license. That's probably a better way to put it. Your identification. We know who you are, but the state wants to know who you are. You bring the vehicle, you bring the title, and you bring the lien release with you.
There you
All
go.
right. So that's what you do. If you own that car outright and say, I'm just looking for the cash, what happens is we write you a check right on the spot. That's cashable. It's depositable right away. And you leave the vehicle and the clear title with us. You walk out with a check, and it's that easy. So that's the way that works. Now, that's one scenario if you own that vehicle outright. A lot of folks, however, want to sell a vehicle that maybe that loan is still active, meaning you're still making payments. So that's still possible. There's just another step or two because we need to verify the amount that's owed on the vehicle. And what we do is Mohawk Auto Group sends a check to your bank to satisfy that loan. You don't have to come out of your pocket with that money, which is nice. If there's a balance, meaning your vehicle's worth this and your loan balance is this, we write you a check for the difference. So that's a pretty simple process. That takes a lot of the legwork out of it for you. And if you decided to sell that same vehicle privately, there certainly could be some more steps.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Selling it privately, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, want ads. Obviously the pro is you're gonna obviously get more money. The pricing is a little more flexible, and you can control the negotiations and quote unquote control. I don't know really what that means, but essentially, I want this amount, and you can hold out until you find someone that wants to buy that, or you realize that you put it too high.
Yeah. What do you think the biggest reason why people don't sell their car outright is?
Oh, it's a hassle.
It's a hassle. Well, time, hassle, time. That's a lot of work. And as the pros who sell cars every day, we know that selling isn't always just immediate gratification, right? So if you decide to sell your vehicle outright, which certainly works for a lot of folks, certainly nothing against that. It works for a lot of folks. It's somewhat situational, especially if you have that rare vehicle that maybe that next buyer sees a lot of value in, right?
Yeah.
And you did a lot of cool stuff to it, right? Maybe modified it or whatever.
we don't really take modified vehicles. We have to bring them back to stock typically.
Yeah, just for compliance and for warranty coverage and stuff. So if you do have that modified vehicle, that might be an idea. However, it does take some time.
Right.
And it's up to each person whether you'd like to take the time to do that or not. And by time, we mean you have to advertise the vehicle somewhere.
Yep.
Right. A little easier nowadays. You could put it on Facebook, Marketplace, or whatever, and so forth.
Used to just be on the side of the road.
Yeah, right. Put the sign on the side.
I mean, those are still out there.
Yeah, it happens.
It's a little bit it's a little bit everything now.
And it works. It just may not be the same as putting it on Facebook Marketplace or whatever. So you'd have to take the time to do that. And then secondly, although you might make a lot of sense. You want to sell a car, somebody wants to buy it. Believe it or not, I don't know if anybody's heard of this before, but there are some people out there or some scams out there where people will contact you and they may not be who they say they are.
Yes.
It's possible.
So
may not be that common.
Right.
But to deal with that and the time it takes to deal with that and to become that retailer sometimes can be a little bit of a detractor for somebody that wants to go through that process. Right. Or they start out with good intentions and they say, oh, wow, I didn't realize how much time this takes out of my day, right?
Yeah,
I still have another job.
It's not just, hey, here you go. It's a month-long process or even more than that.
Yeah. It could be. It could be. And there certainly could be some positives, though, like Nate said, depending on who that buyer is. Instead of that buyer going to a dealership to buy a vehicle, if your vehicle is priced accordingly, maybe you can get a little bit more than what you were thinking, and
Right.
maybe they can pay a little less. I don't know. That could be the case.
Right.
When it comes to that second scenario that I mentioned about selling to Mohawk, where we can pay off the loan and so forth if you have a remaining loan, if you sell the vehicle privately, that can get a little hairy, I guess, if that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Because if you're selling your vehicle to a person, to an individual, that individual, for the most part, would probably expect you to hand them the vehicle in a clear title so that they can go register it and so forth.
Right.
But if there's a remaining loan on the vehicle, you don't have a clear title.
Nope.
So there's kind of that maneuvering that you may have to do depending on whether you're able to satisfy the loan before you sell it, or you're going to chat with that person that you may not know about how to work the funds to pay it off. So there could certainly be some logistics there.
Yeah.
You know, so it might be situational. The answer as to whether it's better to sell your vehicle to a dealership or to an online or do it yourself, it might depend on the situation.
Mm-hmm. For sure. But we do make it easy here.
Absolutely.
That's the plus side. Yes, you will get less if you were selling it by yourself, right? But that's almost like, the price you pay, quote unquote, just for us to recondition the car, to get it back up and running, to make sure that everything's fixed for the next person. And there might be some scratches or dings or things that you didn't actually see when you initially took a look at it or bought it. So that's what we do.
Yeah. And I'd say what a lot of folks do, if they say, well, geez, now that's a lot to think about, right? Should I do it this way? Should I do it that way? The good news is if you're looking to sell your vehicle, or at least we just want to ask about it, is you don't have to decide right away. At Mohawk Auto Group, Mohawk Chevrolet, Mohawk Honda, we provide no obligation quote on your vehicle. So you don't have to decide. You can get the quote, take the quote, think about it, and decide which way might be best for you.
Right.
So you don't have to decide right away or even make that determination until you know the value.
Right.
And once you get the quote from Mohawk, that can be your kind of worst case scenario, right? You can always cash in with us if you don't sell it somewhere else, or have that buddy or have that friend that might be interested in buying.
Right.
So that's a kind of a win-win, right?
There you go.
Can't
Win-win.
beat that. Absolutely. So that's selling your vehicle outright. If you have any questions about the logistics or have any unique situations, we're happy to answer them. We certainly deal with a lot and have seen just about everything as it relates to titling and vehicles and all that kind of stuff. So feel free to fire away, whether you put it in the comments or contact us at the dealership. Either one of our stores are happy to help.
Absolutely.
Whew, that's a lot.
There you go.
Whew.
We just taught you how to sell your car. Again, if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out wherever you are, whatever platform, or throw it in the comments section. If you're listening to this on Spotify, we do look at those, we listen to those, and we want to make sure that we, again, make you become an educated buyer.
That's right. I wonder what we could do next week to get some of the folks involved.
I think we could, talk about how to buy your car.
There we
So
go.
you traded your car in. Now it's time to buy it. What should we know? Do you have any bet you didn't knows for this week?
I do. As it relates to, just to back up a little bit, we were talking about offers on your vehicle that we're happy to provide. The dealership will always provide an offer on your vehicle. And we are, like Nate mentioned about 5 minutes ago, we are partnered with Kelley Blue Book. And if you come to our dealerships, you'll even see some of the signage around. And we use the Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer program, which is a really neat program.
Yeah.
So Kelley Blue Book is an online source, of course, within their portal. If you check the value of your vehicle, we encourage you to use the Instant Cash Offer that will be specific to your vehicle.
Yes.
It'll ask for your vehicle number, your exact mileage, even some photos and so forth. So the offer you receive once you click a couple buttons will be specific to your vehicle. And the good news is that's redeemable. That's redeemable. And Kelley Blue Book indeed backs up their offer. So the good news is you won't have any surprises as long as you've put in the proper information about your...
You know exactly what you're getting.
That's right, about your vehicle. So that's a big takeaway. Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer. We back those offers. And if you have any questions about how to use that, actually both of our sites have that active right on their site.
Yes, you can take a look at that.
That was a lot. I don't know if I answered your question or not.
I mean, I bet you didn't know that.
Oh, Bet you didn't know. That's right. Bet you didn't know. The bet you didn't know is we work with, I almost forgot. We work with Kelley Blue Book, and we have a direct connection to Kelley Blue Book and their executives. Bet you didn't know. Well, actually, let me ask you a question.
Ooh.
It should be a question. Bet you didn't know?
Yeah.
Do you know on Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer page how many vehicles Kelley Blue Book appraises every day?
Every day?
Because this
Ooh.
isn't just us, and it's not just New York, it's not just the nation, but every day through their program, which is why it's so reliable,
It's
because they
got to
see
be at
so
least
many.
like 15,000 plus.
All right, that's a good shot. It's
Yeah.
12,000. Last number was 12,000 per day.
I'll say
12,000
like a couple
vehicles
hundred
per day.
state, you know.
Multiply that out by 30 days on
Yeah.
average times, 12 months. That's a lot of vehicles.
Woo.
And that's why we partner with them, because they have so much information.
12,000 cars a day.
Yep, that's right. And there's probably some math to that on how many every hour and how many
Yeah,
every minute and all that stuff.
They don't
So
hire me to math.
that's right. Super reliable source. So bet you didn't know that's a lot of vehicles. So when you put your vehicle information in there, you can be assured that there's a lot of historical data behind the that value that they're giving, and it's a great consumer site, and we encourage you to use it.
Absolutely. Well, key takeaways from today. Please take a look at the Advanced Clean Cars 2 law and how that may affect you. Talk to your local senator and express your concerns about that, along with the market changes and used car vehicles. And if you are selling, here are your three main takeaways. If you're doing a private sale, yes, you'll make more money, but it'll be more work. If you're going to do a dealership sale, you have a little bit less money, but it's instant and it's more hassle-free than if you're trying to do it by yourself. And then we also talked about the online offers. Those are, the CarMaxes, all those fun stuff. At the end of the day, they still have to take a look at that vehicle anyway. Mm-hmm. It is convenient, but just know what your car is worth. And you can do that by asking us. And I think you'd be rather surprised what we can do here locally for you.
It's super easy, and that's the name of the game.
That's
Anything
it.
that saves time, it's better for you, it's better for us.
All right, well, next time on Mohawk Table Talk, we are going to go through the sales process. You sold your car, but what do I do? And what does the process look like when I'm selling my vehicle? What should I have? What should I know? What should I budget for? Well, that is all coming up on our next episode of Mohawk Table Talk. If you are listening to this, please like, subscribe, and follow this if you're listening on Spotify. But until next time, my name is Nate Greklich, Mr. Mike O'Toole, Mohawk Table Talk, every Tuesday, 12:30. We'll see you next time.
See you next week.
Come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supply. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Stories flow and sights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare.